My friends, imagine this. You are a civilian in Pokrovsk, in the heaviest fighting front of the entire Russo-Ukrainian war. Shells are landing left and right, drones are hitting. Day in and day out, you cannot go outside, but then suddenly, you get 5 minutes of quiet. What do you do? You gotta do so much, there's no shelling, so you go outside, you put on your sports tracksuit, and you hit the gym. You have your own treadmill, and I kid you not, this is a drone video from Pokrovsk. This is a Pokrovsk civilian hammering it away on a treadmill when there's a pause from shelling. Look at him go, or her, maybe it's a babulia. Look at those steps, strong and healthy. That's the way to do it. Yeah, I'm making jokes here, but I'm just bringing this out to show that even in times of war, in the heaviest fighting of the entire planet, a civilian finds a way to, if you cannot walk around because it's too dangerous, you can exercise in your own yard, you can still live, you can still survive, and they're very resilient. But it is funny. I don't even treadmill my own. I don't even have a treadmill, and I'm living here in peaceful Estonia. He has a treadmill in Pokrovsk. And before I hear the comments saying, oh, he's generating electricity. Yeah, that's... How much do you have to do that to generate? Like, you would have to pedal away like that for 24 hours to make 1 pot of tea. Boiling water. It's... like, the electricity is so minimal done from that. Now, my friends, I would usually say all jokes aside, let's move on, but I cannot, because now we get to the part of strikes in Russia, Ukrainian drone strikes, and they hit something so important and so ridiculous, these jokes, they write themselves. What am I talking about? Well, the Beriev A-100 flying laboratory. This is not even the Russian AWACS A-50. This is a step ahead from that. It's a testing plane of all of the new equipment Russians want to put on their planes. They tested with the A-100 and it went up in flames. What is it, you might ask? The A-100? Well, only 2 of them were ever built. It's not the serial production AWACS of A-50. It is the testing laboratory. They test a laser weapon, for Christ's sakes, on that plane. Illusion 76 is the body, but the rest is, God knows, from aliens. Only 2 were ever built. A-100 LL, and this LL version was knocked out cold yesterday. It's beautiful, my friends. Let's travel back to 18th of November, because this is the Taganrog Air Base and the Beriev assembly area of 18th of November, just 1 week before the fatal strike. What do we have present? An A-60, A-50, Antonov 26, Tu-142, an A-100, that juicy piece of a steak right here. Before we go to the strike videos, I just want to open up Google Maps. Yes, Google Maps satellite imagery. God knows when these photos were made by the satellites, but me, as an Estonian reserve soldier, can go to Google Maps, hit up Taganrog, which is a Russian, city port in the Azov Sea, zoom in, just go on the seaside and find this juicy area. On a civilian accessible satellite imagery, I can see planes upon planes, juicy, and you see these domes on top of these planes. You don't gotta be a genius to know that this is a juicy target. I can pick that target. Imagine what the Ukrainians can do. So, what you've been waiting for, some footage for you. This is 18th of November. And this is 26th of November, 1 day after the attack. And you can see this 100, there's a pile of ash left from it. We're gonna watch burning videos also later. Also, this facility, the roof right here, it's a assembly area, assembly building of these radar planes. It's a very important site. And not only the planes and the assembling area was hit, but also an S-400 defense unit that was supposed to defend this very important area. S-400, it is developed to take down aerial targets that are a danger to your whatever. And they were destroyed by these very same aerial targets. I'm telling you, these jokes, they write themselves. Damage to the final assembly workshop, and the final assembly workshop roof is or was on fire. And we don't need no water, let the Russian roof burn. Burn, Russia, burn. That's what we're seeing on this photo right here. And destroyed A-16, destroyed Illusion 76. Different sources have different planes here, but some claim this was destroyed with A-100 and this was destroyed A-60. Well, it don't matter. If it's an AWACS, it's bad. Because Russia doesn't produce them anymore at all. Zero. Net zero. The footage has been geolocated by the lovely people online, and most videos were filmed in these apartment complexes from these banielkas across the water body, and the footage is pretty neat. I wanna share it with you. Let's watch it together. So, Madyar Birds, 414th Madyar Birds, which in Ukrainian is Ptahi Madyara. You can try to say that with me. Ptahi Madyara. Now you're saying Madyar Birds in Ukrainian. That's awesome. These are the videos. And look at those. Look at that bonfire. By the way, my friends, how much a Russian AWACS cost? Well, $350 million. That's an expensive bonfire if I've ever seen one. The AWACS is now sleeping with the fishes, but for that the Russians get themselves a nice little bonfire to warm their hearts, and it's warming my heart also. It's making my Wednesday. Now I can truly call it a hump day. Look at those flames, man. That's money burning. Love it. Love the smell of burning Russia in the morning next to my coffee. Those flames, they enlighten my soul. I hope they do the same for you. This is it. Oh, but wait, is it? There's more. This is now a Topshop commercial because a lot more targets were hit in Russia, and now we travel to Cheboksary, another Russian city 1,000 kilometers from Ukraine, and it's even more east than Moscow. It's far, far away. I mean, it's almost just before the Ural Mountains. And this factory is called VNIIR-Progress, and it makes electronic components, key components for the Russian military industrial complex. So we're talking missiles, we're talking radar, so it's very important. And we can see on this clip what happened to it. Oh, it spontaneously combusted. Damn, this happens a lot in Russia, but I like it. Again, Russians filming from their panelkas. I always love it. They have something to do, we have something to watch. It's good. It's good for everybody. At the moment, when they were trying to shoot down these Ukrainian drones that hit the VNIIR-Progress factory, electronics factory, one of their anti-air defense missiles hit the roof of a panelka. Everything is blurred, but this is a roof of a panelka. And not a good look, you know, you're bombarding your own roofs. Talking about Russians shooting themselves with the anti-air defense fire, look no further, my friends. I have a very living example for you of how they do that. In my previous video, there were Ukrainians striking a target in one of the Black Sea ports of Russia again. And Russians, of course, shooting up like Star Wars lasers in every direction. Bear in mind, this is a big city, urbanized area, a few clicks on every direction, and every fourth bullet is a tracer. So three invisible bullets, one tracer, and you can see them going hundreds in each direction. They don't see what they're shooting at. The searchlight is hitting at nothing. They're shooting out from a location everywhere. You know why? Because at one point in this anti-air defense facility, there was a Russian officer asking, "Cheboksary, why are you not doing anything? We're under attack. Shoot, goddammit!" And the soldiers were like, "Tak tochno, but commandir, we don't see anything. We don't know what to shoot at." And the commandir, the officer, is like, "I will throw you in a jail in Siberia. Start shooting right now. That's an order." You know, it's a political order, because Russian soldiers cannot be seen not fighting back against these drones, but they cannot see the drones, so they're shooting at every direction in a city. And even an air defense missile, you can see it on the screen. That's insane. They fired an air defense missile without a target lock. Just fired it. You know what an air defense missile does without a target lock? It just flies a ballistic trajectory a few clicks and goes down. But if you do that in an urbanized area, look at that beautiful ballistic trajectory. And it goes down. Alright, enough of the Star Wars later. You wanna know what happened to that air defense missile, right? I bring to you the Russian mighty air defense attempt. That's the missile you just saw. And it hit the panelka. It hit the panelka. I don't have to be a genius, man. You don't have to be a genius to find out that if you shoot at a random direction with weapons and missiles in a city, somebody will get hit. You might want to ask me, hey, how do you know somebody got hit? In this video, from the very same panelka, but different apartment and different dudes, they're filming the very same air defense missile when it just suddenly connects to them and you can hear the most beautiful Russian scream of "You butt!" at the end. I mean, this is pure Russian experience if I know one. They're shooting up in the air just because there's a political order. They release the missile and it hits another panelka, and of course there are people in the panelka filming it. It's Russia, and it's beautiful. But on these tunes, my friends, I would like to thank the members of this channel, the members on Buy Me a Coffee. I mean, these guys, they've been with me since the very beginning. YouTube goes up and down, but these guys, they're solid as a rock foundation. I'll be butchering some names. We have Ron. Thank you, Ron. Then we have Rebecca Harrington. And finally, Bill Koiski. Bill Koiski, I've said your names many times, it don't bother me, I'll say many times more if you join up. Also, one dude, Eric, wrote me a letter saying that I butchered the wrong name, and he wrote to me, thanks for pointing that out, I changed to A.R. Miller, so there is more to butcher. Well, consider your name butchered twice, A.R. Miller. If you like my channel, you know what to do. My friends, I wish I could continue on this nice, jokey theme, but I cannot because there's a compilation of videos that just came out of Russians striking Ukrainian civilians, and this one specific instance, you would hear it. This was a Shahed drone hitting into a Ukrainian apartment building. 6 floors collapsed onto the second floor, so many floors collapsed onto the second floor. These people on the second floor apartment filmed the very exact moment, and suddenly everything collapsed into your bedroom and there's random people there, the screams. And I want to show you a specific moment where this man who was sleeping suddenly discovers that everything is collapsed into his bedroom, his legs are bleeding. And he sees this kid, this little girl, under a strong stone, stuck. Look, there's a little hand reaching out. There's a kid right here, trying to help it, but you cannot lift the stone with your body strength. You need machinery for that. This is first seconds. Russia does this. They want people to film it. They want people to post it online. And they want to spread fear. I'm showing this to you to say that we can do something against it, and we must do something against it. The reaction to this must not be, oh, this is painful to watch, I cannot watch this anymore. It has to be, I'm gonna do something to stop it. I'm gonna do something to make sure this doesn't happen to kids ever again. There's a small kid under the rubble. This is what the Russians do. In this next video, my friends, this girl is in a hospital and she is showing off her little bunny rabbit that she got as a gift because she is a survivor from Ternopil, where over 30 Ukrainian civilians were murdered by Russians in the apartment. And she survived, and showing with her little hand here, you know, there's a needle in it and it's bloody. Showing how happy she is about the little bunny rabbit she got as a gift. I'm just showing. This is where it gets to me. When it gets to the children, it gets to me, and I have to share it. This is Kyiv subway. It was yesterday. And notice that there was an explosion. This guy was going out, heard the explosion going back in. And you can see there are babies here. like a baby, just in a little children. They're supposed to go to school tomorrow. They're supposed to sleep to get ready for the study session. And they are up. They cannot sleep. They're in the subway. There are animals in bags. Dogs, they're all afraid. This is pure terrorism that Russia does. This is exactly as 1940 in London. This is an imperialist Nazi regime bombing the free people of the West. Exactly the same. Russia is the most similar regime today on the planet to Nazi Germany, and they're bombing Kyiv civilians, Ukrainian civilians, without any reason. They are a terrorist state, and they must be pushed back. There must be a military victory over them. And on those notes, I want to bring to you a man from the 103rd Brigade who very much shares my message, but in his own very unique way.
Y'all know what time it is. This Snowball from 103rd Brigade. Come join the motherfucking ranks. You ain't out there doing nothing in the United States of America. Come join Ukraine Army, motherfucker. This is where it's at. I'm the first black of my brigade, and I need some more black men to come join me, man. These is my brothers right here. This is our brigade. Come on, man. I get you a letter of recommendation. You got a passport? Let's do this shit. Let's go some shit up.
It's said in a way I could never do. I could never say it like that, but the message is exactly what I want to convey. What can I do? What can I make to stop this terror? And this man from America decided to go over. He's the first black of his brigade. I don't need to know the rest. He's a hero in my eyes. He flew over. He's fighting against this terror regime of Russia. Well said, my man. I don't know who this man is. I don't know if he has a social media presence, but he's so vibrant, I feel like he should. And now, my friends, I'm switching over. We're gonna watch videos from the Russian cripple battalions. You might think, oh, what? That's another Artur bashing Russians. But hey, it is the Russians filming their own assault video. It was published in Brothers in Arms, a Russian Telegram channel, where they filmed their own cripple battalions assaulting Ukrainian positions. This is how they attack. Look at these zombies, they're crawling and they're limping. And I mean, Russian military stormtroopers are storming Donetsk direction. Here. They are going to assault like that. This reminds me of The Walking Dead Season 1, where this woman without the lower body was crawling the zombie, It's exactly zombie army. That's what they call them, orcs or zombies, because that's what they are. Everything is it has to be, the second army of the world, storms like this. Very few of these storm unit soldiers survive, and if they do, they gotta survive in no man's land. They're not gonna fight, they have 1 or 2 magazines, no food, no water. So these specific fighters survived. They were like part of the 10% that made it to no man's land that just is gonna live there until they die. There's no water supply. We'll have to drink from this bottle. There are corpses lying right next to it. So now I got a question for you, my friends. Some of you know more about this biology and anatomy. If you drink from a bottle where a corpse is rotting into and leaking into the liquids to the bottle, you get these parasites and bacteria. Like, what is the outcome? I know you get the shits, but what else? What, like, viruses or parasites do you get? And what does it really do to you? They are drinking from a water source that has a decaying soldier in it, next to it. What's the outcome of this? That's the Russians. But what else can we do? We're thirsty. We gotta survive. And I will end this video, my friends, with one of the very lucky and intelligent Russian soldiers, because, not only he stormed and he survived in the no man's land, he surrendered. And that's the most intelligent choice a Russian person can do, because then they get to survive and they get to see the world for as it is, because Ukrainians will show it to them. He got lost. We fed him and gave him the drink. Who is Putin? The Tsar in the palace. Who is Putin? He turned out to be an F. That's what he says. Re-educated by a Ukrainian can of meat. He loves it so much, he's ready to join the ranks. And he just ate Ukrainian fathead now. He wants more. Now he wants lard. He was like, this is a Russian captured soldier. And by the way, look at the resemblance. Do you see the resemblance? I don't need to say where this is from, you all know it. private joker re-education program, but it looks exactly like it. So strange. Alright my friends, this is it for today. I'll be back for you every Monday, Wednesday and Friday. If you like it, do subscribe to the channel, and until my next video, Slava Ukraini, and bye bye.